Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we dive into the messiest situations from Reddit and figure out who's right and who's wrong. Today's story is all about neighborly favors and when they go way too far. So, let's get right into it. The original poster, let's call them Opie, asks, "Am I the asshole for not letting my neighbor park in my driveway?" Here's the deal. Opie's neighbor came over one day and asked if they could use the driveway to park their car. They promised it would only be for a few days while they sorted something out. Opie, trying to be a good neighbor, agreed. I mean, what's a few days, right? It seems like a simple, kind thing to do. But as you can probably guess, a few days started to stretch. One day turned into 3 days turned into a week, and then 1 week turned into multiple weeks. The neighbor's car was basically living in Opie's driveway. Opie was starting to get annoyed. It was inconvenient, and it wasn't what they signed up for. They finally had enough and went over to their neighbor to address the situation. Opie politely but firmly told the neighbor that the few days were long over and they needed their driveway back. They asked the neighbor to please stop parking there. Dude, think the neighbor would apologize for overstaying their welcome, right? Wrong. Instead of being understanding, the neighbor got defensive and accused Opie of being unfriendly and a bad neighbor. They were actually mad that their free, long-term parking spot was being taken away. So now Opie is left wondering if they did the wrong thing by revoking the favor. Okay, let's see what the Reddit community had to say about this one. The top comment was a resounding, "Not the asshole." The user wrote, "That's your property. You decide who uses it and for how long. They took advantage of your kindness." That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Another great comment pointed out a classic life lesson. Temporary favors have a nasty habit of becoming permanent expectations. This is so true. You give someone an inch and they try to take a mile. The neighbor clearly got a little too comfortable with the arrangement and started seeing it as a right rather than a privilege. And a third comment really hit the nail on the head. You set a fair boundary. They are the ones being unreasonable for getting upset when you enforced it. This is a perfect example of someone stopping on a boundary and then blaming the person who set it in the first place. So, for our mini verdict, it's a clear not the asshole. Your space is your space. You did a nice thing, and your neighbor completely abused your generosity. Now, what's my final verdict? I have to agree with Reddit 100%, not the asshole. Being a good neighbor doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. It's one thing to help someone out in a pinch, but it's another thing entirely for them to take over your property indefinitely. The neighbor's reaction, calling Opie unfriendly, is just classic manipulation. They're trying to guilt-trip Opie into giving them what they want. It's not unfriendly to protect your own space and peace of mind. What do you all think? Have you ever had a neighborly favor go wrong? Let me know your stories and your verdict in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories. See you next time.